Hey guys, it's Mo here. Today I am back to talk about my spinal cord stimulator. I know that there's not like an abundance of information out there, so maybe if I talk about it, there will be some more info in the world. And I wanted to kind of clarify what my spinal cord stimulator does, because in the first video I was just like, it's not that big a deal, just look into it or whatever. But I know that it is very important to people to know how it's working, why it's working, and all of that jazz. So I am not a doctor, but I do have the implant in my lower back right now. So that is my, certification, certified cyborg. Got it. Let's go. So in my lower back, I have my pulse generator. That pulse generator has two leads that lead up into the thoracic vertebrae of my spine, into my spinal cord. Or not into my spinal cord, but like there. Then what happens, there are mild electrical pulses that are sent through the leads, and those calm my spinal cord. And so then those pain signals that would have been sent to my brain aren't sent to my brain. That's how it's been explained to me. That's how it's explained every time I've looked it up and tried to figure it all out, because it is so complicated. That's the basic grasp of it. Obviously, if you go to a doctor, most of the doctors you will see for this will have a slight grasp on it. Strangely, the psychologist that I saw, that I had to see to get cleared for the whole thing, explained a lot to me that my pain management doctor never did. So every doctor will have something new to say, some new information, and it's always good to just be writing everything down, because when I was sitting there in the doctor's office, I have this onslaught of information, while the entire time I'm so anxious because I'm in the doctor's office, which is anxiety central for me. And I'm talking about getting a huge surgery that I could have never been fully sure about. Even though I got the trial, even though I knew it helped with my pain, it makes me feel better. Like if I ever get married, I won't feel bad for feeling unsure up to the last minute, because that's how I was the entire time I was getting this. So that was scary in itself. Okay, moving on. Oh goodness. So why did I get specifically the Nevro? I got the Nevro over the St. John's, I think it's St. John's, spinal cord stimulator because it allowed you to drive with the stimulator on, which isn't something you can do with most of them. And the only way I would be able to drive in my head was if I had the SCS working and giving me pain relief so that I could actually drive, even though I have hand controls and all of that. So that, like, right there, that you can drive with it, was a huge deal to me. Another thing was that you can't feel the stimulation, or if you can, it's very light. So I have had periods, like nights, where I've felt it lightly before, and it's like a slight tapping. It's nothing super distracting. But with the other spinal cord stimulators, you do feel it, and it is a mild feeling of stimulation. So those were the biggest reasons that I got the Nevro, and I'm really happy that I made that choice, even though it was newer, so it felt scarier to me, and it was more expensive, but it was essentially paying for the medical upgrade, and that's how the world works. You don't get nice fancy things to help your pain because you need them. You get them because you have money. So yay. All right, let's see. Was the psych appointment difficult? No. The psych appointment was very nerve-wracking for me. Someone mentioned, I think Tia mentioned down in the comments, that anxiety, depression, if you're diagnosed with that, are you less likely to be approved? And I don't think so. I think they have an expectation of most patients they see that are coming in to get this are depressed, and they are, even if they aren't diagnosed with depression, they are very clearly presenting symptoms of depression. and anxiety. So I don't think that's out of the ordinary. I think pretty much when you go, they just want to make sure that you understand what you're getting into, what it will mean as far as your recovery, and if you have realistic expectations for the surgery. They really, really want to make sure that you have an okay idea that this isn't gonna cure everything. You're not gonna be perfectly fine as soon as you wake up from surgery. There are, I guess, a few things they have to warn you about with the surgery before you can get it. And I was really pleasantly surprised, honestly. I was really scared and it wasn't that bad. So yeah, don't worry about it. It's okay. That part is okay. Other parts were worse. That one was okay. Does it hurt to have the pulse generator in my back? Okay, so I mentioned in the last video that it's uncomfortable to have the pulse generator in my lower back because it does stick out, especially when I'm like lower weight. When I'm 10 pounds lower than this, it's significantly worse, and I can feel it when I'm leaning up against things. But it doesn't hurt unless it's actually like hit or I'm against it for a very long time without realizing it, which doesn't often happen because I can feel it. So it's not that big a deal. It's a little weird as far as like intimacy things, but bodies are weird, so that's just a normal thing. Hardest part about recovery. Okay, the hardest part about recovery, without a doubt, was I was so worried I was going to rip out the leads. And that is the imagery that I had, just them being ripped out of my spine dramatically. I wasn't allowed to bend or reach, like overreach. All of that was a big no-no for a very, very long time. Like months and months and months and months of no bending, no reaching, which bending isn't a problem because I have back problems. I shouldn't be bending anyways. But the fact that I couldn't reach up, I mean, for the first few months it was just because it was too painful. But then eventually it was just, I wasn't allowed to. And having, you know, the knowledge that you can reach, but you're not allowed to reach, that can be really annoying when you're so restricted in everything else already. So yeah, that was definitely the most annoying, difficult, whatever part. Surgery recovery was all right. Compared to my other surgeries, it was definitely the most serious. It took the longest. It was the most painful surgery because I had surgery scars on my lower back and also in my thoracic area. So those were two decent sized incisions that I was always laying on and always accidentally moving wrong and tugging, and that was just really annoying, but worth it in the end. So what can I say? I know. Anyways, I think that is it for the questions. If you guys have any more questions, definitely ask them below. I'm trying to talk more about this whole spinal cord stimulator surgery thing. I was really nervous to talk about it in the beginning because I wasn't sure it would work, and I didn't want to talk about it or encourage anyone to get the process started if I wasn't doing well or if I didn't know that it would help me. So now I know that it's helping me, and I can actually tell you guys that without feeling like a bad person. But obviously I'm not sponsored or don't get any money for talking about Nevro. And the surgery is very, very expensive, so without good insurance, I don't even know how someone would swing that. But yeah, please like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you're not already. I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.